Hey everybody, this is Tracy's Keeping It Real. And it's always such a pleasure to keep it real, especially when I got my sisters in the room with me. And we're always trying to keep it real because we know the importance in our community and knowing the things that we're talking about are really on the real. And today I have two lovely ladies that are joining me on Tracy's Keeping It Real. And we're talking about the African American Leadership Forum today. And who I have with me in the studio today is Dara Beevas, the Chief Executive Officer, and we have Shanaya Dungey, the Chief Operating Officer. So we have some heavy hitters in the room with us today. How are you ladies doing?
Good. Thank you, Miss
Amazing.
Tracy, for that introduction.
Yes. It's so good to have you ladies. And you know what?
Good to be here.
I don't even want to try to pretend to tell you a long story of all the wonderful things you're doing, your whole portfolio. So just tell the listening audience and the viewing audience a little bit about yourself. So let's start
Mm.
with you, my sister. Let's talk about Dara, the things that have brought you to the African American Leadership Forum.
Yeah. So thank you again, Tracy, for having me. As I was telling you off camera, my background is actually as a writer, storyteller, publisher. I'm from the DC area, but I moved to Minnesota now almost 20 years ago.
Oh,
So 2007. My background, I started publishing in college. So I had a magazine for Black women, and that was what gave me the bug. And you know what the bug is I'm talking
oh, I
about.
do know. I
Love
do know.
loving people, loving stories. I grew up just sitting at the feet of my elders and writing things down and listening to them talk about all kinds of things. My grandmother had 5 daughters.
Oh,
I
okay.
know, right? So when I moved to Minnesota in 2007, I immediately started working on the ground with people who had book ideas. Worked for a small publisher out in Edina, and then did that work, loved it, and started my own company in 2013. So for the last almost 15 years, it's just been me working with leaders, executives, but also kids. I love working with young voices, young Black and Brown and immigrant voices to tell their stories. I've worked with fifth graders and I've worked with people in their 90s.
Mm.
And so for me, um, I was ready to, at the last year of working at Wise Inc., which I still own, I started to really wonder what would it feel like to do this work for just our community. Not just telling the story, but giving voice to the things that we know are keeping us up at night. And not just the things that are hard. I know from the work as a publisher that people are sitting with innovative ideas for how to make the world better. And
Hmm.
that's what lights me up.
Okay.
And so when I came to the forum as chief narrative officer, it was a dream job. And I was stunned, like divine. How do you get two dream jobs, right?
Yeah.
And so the forum was amazing because it gave me the opportunity to all day wake up thinking about how do we drive the change of Black Minnesotans that are innovative, that are different, that are revolutionary, that are liberating. How do we bring that to fruition? And I had no idea that 6 months in, I would be um, tasked with the opportunity to apply for the position of CEO,
Hmm.
and that I would be working alongside Shanaya Dungey, who I had met years before on a book project
Hmm.
and worked with her sister on several book projects because the Dungy family is like the bomb.com. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So I had worked with her sister Gina, who is this incredible artist. And when I'm telling you that Minnesota has everything we need is right here.
Mm.
So whenever I'd be working on a book project and someone would say, well, you should go to New York and find an artist, or you should go to California and find an editor, I'd be like, no, those people are right here.
Yeah.
And Gina was this up and coming, amazing artist who I got to work on like 3 projects with. And then she introduced me to Shanaya, and now I get to work alongside Shanaya. So it's just been an incredible journey so far. But every day, waking up and thinking about how do we make Black Minnesotans um, the co-creator, co-architect, co-governor co-innovator of the dreams that we know are ours to live today.
Wow, wow. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something too on that, Dara, because the thing is that I love about hearing you say that. I dream about getting somebody to come to the MSR that has the passion for the community,
Yeah.
for the people it represents, and that they can lean in on that passion. And so when the African American Leadership Forum, I know Gary is so excited because he was the founder of it.
Yes.
We
And
love
to
Gary.
think that, oh, I do too.
Mm.
He's got me ripped.
Us too, honey. Us too.
He done got me rolled in on some other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Us too.
He gotta be so proud because the thing is now we have a sister that has the pride, but also has that you wake up wanting to make a difference. You wake up really leaning into it. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to go to work and get my check because I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. That's the person we don't need in that seat.
No, and
Yeah.
this is not the time for that either.
And it's not the time.
This is not the time.
It's so critical that we have the right people in the right seats right now, because anybody in the wrong seat is going to make a misstep that's going to never be able to be repaired.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
that's where Shanaya comes in.
now
Every visionary
right into
needs somebody to bring it down, bring it in,
and help it to mold it.
Yes.
Make it be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you got over there for yourself to say?
My
She
God.
already hyped you.
And she done really like,
so
yes,
No
really
lies
hyped it up.
told.
no
No lies
say
told.
more to say. I mean, she said it all for you already.
She
but-
did say it. I'll try to add as much as I can to the story. So I've been with the forum for 5 years, and so I've seen it through evolution. I've seen the evolution of the organization through 3 different leaders who've all led in very different ways, but all had that passion that we talked about and the care for our community, the Black community. And so it's been a blessing and an honor to be able to serve under leaders and to do this work for as long as I've been able to do it. My background has really been I'm the fun stuff, the finances of it all, the people of it all, which was extremely fun.
And important.
Yes, and important. We can't do this work without the right talent in the right seats. Being able to grow that talent to like go off and do bigger and broader work after they leave the forum has been amazing, as well as just how we function and the infrastructure of the organization. So when I first came onto the forum 5 years ago, we were a small but mighty team of 4, and we have grown to almost 20 now. And so that evolution has happened over the last 5 years so that we can do the big work that Dara has talked about, making sure that all the systems and infrastructure is there so that we can actually do that work is my role.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does it well, honey.
I love it now, and I love how you just said that you do the fun work. You start off and you said finances. Now sometimes finances ain't a fun work. Trust me, I get to do all of that. Now I'm
Not for
finding
an
a whole bunch
English
of
major.
fun.
But if you have someone who's passionate about it, it is fun, right?
Yes,
Yep.
it is. Well, great. Well,
It's not fun when you can't pay the bills.
No, we gotta be able to pay the bills. We gotta be able to pay the bills. And we gonna be able to pay the bills.
No money to make fun with. That's what I was gonna say.
And my role is to make sure that we store the resources that the organization has so that we are able to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm loving it. All right. Well, see, Derek got the right person working right with her. Okay.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
yes. Well, I hear 2 names, and I know sometimes we just shorten it for the sake of it. I just want to clarify that we got the 2 names are actually the one. So I hear African American Leadership Forum, and I also hear Forum. So we haven't changed the name. We just shortened it.
We just shortened it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because I thought, did they change the name?
Yeah. It was a mouthful.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people know us as ALF.
Yes.
And we prefer the forum.
Okay, then ALF.
Then ALF.
I understand that to make more sense. It sounds more
Yes.
serious.
Yes. You don't think about the 80s alien when you say Alf, right? When you say the forum, you're like,
oh, that's more dignified. It's Alf. No, I hear you though. I hear you. That makes sense. So I know that the forum, from what I understand, has six main concerns, or you might even say areas of concern that you're focusing in on that are primarily of interest to the African American and regarding the African American community.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about that list and how it came to be? And is it the same list that was in the beginning? Has things changed? Because I know sometimes when I look at the more things change,
they stay the same.
the more they stay the same.
Yes, they do.
So have we been able to conquer the first six that Gary started off with? Or are we still kind of, trying to figure that one out still? Sometimes it just takes, I mean, the same vision my grandfather had starting this paper, I'm still having a lot of the same concerns today, 92 years later.
Yeah.
So where are we at from the time the forum began to now?
Yeah, I can speak to where we're at today. And Shanaya, maybe you want to speak to how did we get there? So our six pillars are education, health. I'm saying holistic healing, right? But it's health, public safety, generational wealth, economic prosperity, and what am I missing?
Environmental justice.
Environmental justice.
Okay.
So those are our six pillars. Now, I would say that those six pillars we see at the forum is driving what we call us toward a radical Black future. If we can be thriving in those six areas, we believe that we will be able to actualize whatever our individual dreams are. We know that Black people are not a monolith, but if we are able to get those disparities closed in our state, because if you look at the disparities across all six of those pillars, environmental justice, public safety, education, economic prosperity, generational wealth, and education, we are not doing as well as not even, I'm not comparing us even to just white folks. We're not doing as well as other communities, the Hispanic community, the Asian community. We have some work to do. And also, I don't want us to ground in the disparity. I think that we should be radically thinking about how do we make our lives liberatory across all six of those pillars. Now, Shanaya, speak to how did we get there and where did we start? I believe that we started with like corporate community coming together.
So, this is our 20th year.
Okay.
This is 2026 is the 20th year of the forum being in existence. And as y'all know, it started at Gary Cunningham's kitchen table with heavy hitters sitting around the table thinking about how they could change some of those same disparities that exist today. And back then, I believe that they were using different wording, but it was the same areas of focus. And in fact, about 3 years ago, when Adair came back or came to be the leader of the forum, Adair Mosley, he went back to the founders as he was shaping what our strategic plan was. He went back to the founders to get insights and ideas from the people who actually started the work. So, as you shared, the more things, what is it? What is the saying?
The more things change, the
more things stay the same. So Sankofa, we went back to what we had already created to make sure that we were grounded as we were building out the work as it lives today.
Okay. Well, and I know that we're going to talk more about some of the things that you've been able to accomplish, because we want to make sure that although they do stay the same sometime, we still
we need to make movement.
We got to make movement. We got to make movement, so we got to talk about that.
Yes.
So, and I know that there's a think to do tank.
We're a think and do tank.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the think and do tank, and what exactly does that mean, and how does that impact the broader community while you're looking at our individuals as well. So,
Yeah, so when you think about what does a think tank do, I think about coming out of DC, there's lots of think tanks that are literally driving all of what happens on the Hill, right? These think tanks are sitting next to all of your well-known politicians, and they're in their ear and they're saying, you know, you need to drive this around this policy and you need to do this around this issue, right? Think tanks hold enormous power. And we don't really typically think about that. But if you notice, politicians are talking heads with facts and giving you all the things that they're pirating and pushing and pioneering. Usually it's a think tank behind them that's giving them those talking points. So we do have a policy advocacy. That's a big part of what we do. So we're thinking about across those 6 pillars, what are the policies that will truly speak to what we need as a community for education? How do we enact more funding or opportunities for our Black businesses? What do we need for help to close that disparity gap, to make sure that we're getting the preventative care we need, to make sure that our needs are being spoken about in those rooms where our lawmakers are making decisions that impact us? Who's talking to them? And what do we need to drive safer communities? We're in the community quite often, Tracy, and asking community, um, what would make you feel more safe? And you would be surprised. The do part of the think and do tank is that we are making sure that everything we say publicly, we've already had community members drive that, be part of the conversation. They're the ones at our tables. So we're not politician first. We're not um, you know, corporate first. We are community first. So before we are going to roll out some kind of agenda, we've already sat with community members and asked, what are your concerns? What are your fears? But also, what are your dreams? What do you need? If you had no barriers in front of you, what would economic prosperity feel like, taste like, smell like, right? And these are some of the things that our community doesn't always have the luxury of being able to express or have asked. And that's where we are always clear at the forum that we are never speaking from a place of deficit. We are always speaking from a position of abundance. That is what our ancestors want for us. It's not how much can we get out of this little cup. It's there is no cup, right? There's no cup and there's no barrier and there's nothing in your way. Let's say there is no such thing as a white supremacist structure that is oppressing you, and you get to just dream unabashedly. What does that look like? And so the forums do is taking that, which is data that isn't always counted as data, and we are using that to decide alongside community what agenda, what policy, what innovations, what pilots, what talking points, what narrative do we drive from there?
okay. And how do we get to the community? How are we engaging the community? And how often do we engage the community?
So we're engaging the community through 6 strategies. So I'm speaking to our
Okay, you
pyramid
write
page.
these down. 'Cause I gotta figure my way out too, though.
So this is what I find to be so incredible about getting to work at a Black-led think tank. We are able to have a research team that is really looking at Black data, which is not just statistics and numbers, it's what is the community saying. So we're having design sessions constantly. Design sessions are when we have our team go out into community and pull a table together and we say, okay, can you give us some thoughts on, right now we're talking about health. What is a barrier to you being able to get to the doctor? What does a good experience with your doctor feel like? How does that show up for you? What are the questions that you want to ask or can't ask? What are the questions that they don't know to ask you? Right?
Yeah, that's big.
So those are the things that we're doing that right now. So we have people coming in for health focus groups currently. We also are doing amplification, dissemination. So that is where we are pushing out reports, pushing out papers, pushing out Black papers and policy briefs. Those are written by us, for us, and it is to drive us forward. And they're not just written by people within the forum. We actually have people from outside the forum weighing in and helping us with those reports constantly. And those are also people passionate about our work. And that's always happening as well. And we also have what we call discourse. That's our, our workshops, our trainings, we had an elders call for calm, what was it? Calm, courage, and community.
Yes.
And that was a few weeks back at Black Garnet Books, where we had an incredible group of elders sit with us and just share their lived experience, what they want us to be thinking about right now. So we are always doing those events. We usually have events every, I would say, 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes more often than that. And then on top of that, we're driving policy. So I'm at the Capitol right now, driving policy around AI. And how will AI impact Black communities? If AI is going to wipe out all of our entry-level white-collar jobs, what does that mean for the person without a college degree that could have been a paralegal 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago? If AI can be a paralegal, what happens to that young person or that person without a degree who could have been a paralegal and had an entry into a career without a degree? So we're doing that right now. So we're always doing. We also can increase the capacity of organizations that we know are doing incredible service-based work, but maybe they don't have a research team behind them. Maybe they don't have a policy team behind them. Maybe they don't have an event staff or a narrative justice staff. We have all those things. And so that's part of what we're doing as well, is partnering with our amazing foundational Black-led organizations like the Spokesman to say, you have a think tank in community who cares about what you're doing, and we can drive the work that you're doing in partnership with you because you're also a comrade.
Right.
And we have the same goals.
Right.
Radical Black future. Let's do it.
Hey, I love it. I can't wait till we are next table we're going to when we leave this table. And so that is exciting. And so, that's what I wanted to talk about today. And I know that, there probably are other organizations that are going to be looking to call you and find out how they can partner. And some of this is what needs to happen, especially in the world we're in today. It's like, how do we work together? Resources are drying up. We can't do the things we once used to do by ourselves. How can we create this camaraderie where it works for everybody and we all can come out winning because we all have the same goal?
Well, see, Tracy, I don't think that resources are drying up.
Okay.
Because I think that we are the resources.
Okay.
We've always been the resources.
I love it. I
right?
love it.
And so part of what the forum can do and is doing is we can say, okay, so we know that Tracy at Spokesman-Recorder has this incredible spotlight that she does on Black businesses. We know there's a business over here that if they could just get a little bit of publicity, that could bump them up into the, so we have that ecosystem. We really do. I mean, Minnesota is an incredible, and I'm coming from Chocolate City. Minnesota is an incredible state where we have so many corporate, nonprofit, entrepreneurial resources in our community, and we want to work together. And we do work together.
All right. And I'm looking forward to 2026 was my year because I don't think I worked together with as many people as I want to.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about the opportunity to explore what you just said.
Yeah.
For those that want to work together more. And again, that we do have common ground that we can galvanize around and everybody feels that it's a win-win.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about hearing about this opportunity that you are exploring and have explored and will continue to explore with communities as you're working towards the 6 pillars to really make a difference in the community.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit then about the things that you're doing to support her initiative in terms of the things that the forum is really embracing to help the community and the efforts that you're doing.
Absolutely. I think what Dara just explained, all the activities that Dara explained are the Black Centered Design methodology that the forum holds. And so what Black Center Design is, it's a methodology that is used throughout the world. And it's based in human-centered design, and it's that we're building for the people. We're not building for an entity. We're not building for credit. We're building for the people. And so in that methodology, we are consistently going back to community over and over and over again and checking ourselves, checking that we've heard what community said. Check, is this right? And so those events that Dara was outlining and talking about, they're not just events for events' sake. So come on over and have fun with us. Eh, Although Black joy is necessary
Absolutely.
and needed
And we have to
and
come
deserved.
happily come. We don't
Yes.
come because we're dragging you.
No.
Yeah.
We deserve Black
Absolutely.
joy. And so our events are built around Black joy, but they're also a touch point to connect with community, to confirm with community, to gather info and insights from community. And one of the things that Darren named that I want to put a finer point on is around the data, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there is data out there about us that we don't own, that we don't have sovereignty over. And we all know that our communities, grandma, great grandma, our community has flourished and thrived off of storytelling. And a lot of information may not even be written, but we know it because grandma told me the story and great grandma told her the story. We continue to pass that down. So that is our community. That's a part of our data, and we shouldn't look at it that as if it's not data just because it may not be
Absolutely.
counted in certain ways. And so all of the ways that we connect and have touch points with community are us capturing data from the community so that we can act on that data.
Okay. All right. And so do you feel that that's maybe the only thing that we don't understand about what the forum is doing? Are there other things that we think that the community isn't aware that the forum is doing, and particularly where you're doing it for the community that we're talking about? And to are there things that you think that they need to know more about what you're doing, and then how are they getting involved if they're not at the table with the conversations, or how can they be involved at the table? Because do you need more voices?
Oh, yes.
And then how can they get involved? Because if I think that you're doing great work and I just don't know how to get involved, I'm not going to. And so therefore you could be missing out on a whole bunch of more wonderful, great minds. How do we do that?
That's such a great question. I want first and foremost to say that the forum is in service to you, right? If you are a Black Minnesotan, whether that means that your family is from Somalia or you have grown up here your whole life, if you're Black, the forum is working for you. And so that's number one. And there's many touch points where you are able to engage with the work that we're doing. And we want to every year touch as many Black Minnesotans as we can. This year our goal is 40,000. Okay. So that means we want to see you at our tables working with our designers as they're problem solving and driving systems change. They can't do that without you. Again, we are community forward. That means that we can't speak about Black abundance unless we are talking to those for whom abundance is being built. And so it's coming to our events. It's speaking at our events. It's helping us to co-build law. And there are so many other ways in which you can work with the forum. This quarter, we know in January, February, March, we have been as a community really dealing with Operation Surge. The forum has been a space for our activist organizations to gather. We've been supporting organizations with helping them to get things off the ground. We are a team. So if you are looking for an opportunity to be connected to other organizations, we can be a great liaison in that way. But we really want folks to think about us as a tool to drive change. And we haven't even talked about our action center, which is, if you go on our website, You can register to vote through our Action Center. You can support laws that are right now being voted on and having hearings that are related to the causes and issues that impact our lives. We have a whole infrastructure built for you to engage around that. So if you can join our newsletter,
Yeah.
you will be able to follow all of the ways in which the forum is, again, actively working on your behalf to drive Black thriving across the state.
Wow. So that's so important that we're letting people know that that is available to them. And I just want to make sure that all of our listeners and viewers are going to get that information. We're going to make sure that at the end of this
Thank
show,
you.
we're going to put that out there, and we're going to make sure that it stays out there, and we're going to continue to inform the community about these issues that are impacting them. Because I think, again, when you talk about issues that are right now, that are on the floor, that decisions are being made,
and it's a midterm year,
and it's a midterm year.
Yeah.
Why is it important? We talk about that. Why? How do they get involved? Back to, I hear so many people all the time saying they want to do something, but they just don't know how to get involved. And a lot of times we think that because we're doing a lot of the work that we do, we just don't see how people just don't know how to get involved. It's like, what do you mean you don't know how to get involved?
Yeah.
But I'm constantly reminding people how to get involved with the paper. It's just like it's as simple as writing an opinion piece. If you have an opinion, it's as simple as that. It depends on where you're at in life to how you can be involved.
Yeah.
But if they just don't know, they don't know.
They don't know.
Yes.
And if they're not involved, and so the same applies to the African American Leadership Forum. If we don't know what you're doing, we can't get involved. So that's why it's so important to talk about this today.
Absolutely.
Because I know you guys are doing some powerful work over there, and I want the community to know that their voices are a part of the system change that you're making.
It's the core.
And you've said it so many times, and I want to make sure they're hearing that.
Thank you, Miss
Their
Tracy.
voices are what's making what you're doing possible.
It's all about them.
And so it's important that all of our voices are being able to be heard. Because some of the people think they don't have a place at the table. That's the thing. We got to make sure that everybody has a place at the table.
That actually reminds me of one other program that we actually have applications open on right now, which is the Josie R. Johnson Leadership Academy Fellowship.
You remember that.
And so,
we got to talk about that.
Yes. So it is a fellowship that has been around for 10 years. Last year, this is the 11th year. And it is a space for Black leaders. And we have a philosophy that we all are leaders. We all lead in different ways, but every one of us is a leader. So Black leaders come together and get poured into, which we often don't. That often doesn't happen for us, right? And so it's a Black space to be poured into, to learn about our history, to work with other Black leaders. It's a catalyst for some's work. We have some amazing fellows who have graduated from our programming, and applications are open right now. So if folks are interested, they should absolutely apply.
And just a little bit, what do they need to do to apply? What do they have to? What is it? Just
go to our website.
But what do they have to be doing or aspiring to do, or what do they?
Yeah.
What do they have to be in order to in life to?
Yes. So there's quite a few. There's a few questions that have to be answered, but one of the main components that we look at is like what connection do you have to community, and what are you doing in community?
Okay.
So
not about accolades.
Yes.
It's not about education. There are people who do drala and they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yes.
And then there's people who are in their 20s.
Okay.
There's no age range.
Emmanuel, who's helping us on this podcast, his wife was part of drala last year.
Yeah.
Yes. He told me, he mentioned that. That's one of the reasons why I was like, okay, so what is it?
Shout out to Fancy.
Yeah.
How can we get people involved? What just the bare necessity. So you just said that. So it's not academic. It's not age. It's just they have to have involvement in the community. Is that correct?
Yes.
And they have
a vision for where they want their passion to drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long is the fellowship?
It's a 6-month fellowship.
6 months. Okay. Okay. So they have to be committed for 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not a lot. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but that's just the basics, so people know minimally I can get involved because
Absolutely.
that gets me in the door to get started.
Absolutely.
I love it. So because we
People
got
can
to get.
also donate too, Tracy.
Oh well, now hey, we all
I
we
will
all.
be doing my due diligence.
If you don't mention that, okay, they can help support it.
Yes.
That's
Because
right.
that's the thing. We got to get support. We can't do everything without support,
Absolutely.
right?
You can invest in the forum to help
Yep.
drive the change in the programs that we're doing.
Nice, nice. So are there other programs that we missed that people can hear about that we haven't talked about this afternoon?
Northside Forward.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What's that one about?
Northside Forward is our place-based initiative, also launched last year.
Okay.
And it is a plan that we created with community, co-created with community in Northside Minneapolis to craft a $1.5 billion plan for how we want the North Side to evolve over 10 years.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
All right. And that's North Side Forward. We got South Side Forward yet. What's going on?
Working on it, working on it, working on it.
Okay. All right. So what else do we got?
What else do we got, Shanaya?
Ooh.
You got so much.
So
I know.
much.
I know we can't get it all in
Yes.
one program, but we sure gonna at least we can get the taste out there. Then they can go
Yeah.
check you out on the website for the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dara did a good job of kind of talking about all the work that's
She
happening.
did.
Again, we're not a direct service organization. So the projects and initiatives and um, programming that we kind of lift up off the ground, it's really to be given back to community. Not for us to hold it. It's for us to start it and be the catalyst to it, and then for it to thrive out in community. And so while there aren't a myriad of like programs, because we don't have a lot of programs, the work that's undergirding with research, policy, all the things that Dara named, design, Black Center design, is consistently happening in the organization.
Right. And
Yeah.
and just to change, you change agent. So
Yes.
you're just constantly making change and that is a full-time job within itself. So
Yes.
you can't
It
do a
is.
million programs and
Yes.
be at the Capitol making change at the same time. It's not gonna happen. So
Absolutely.
so I get that most what you're doing is really about that. It's about again back to what the original thought was and voice was that you're getting the voice from the community.
Yeah.
You're taking it back. You're trying to make it all make sense and then going to the Capitol and making sure that the changes that are effective and
Absolutely.
helping our community to get
Correct.
done and have a healthy life that we all just want to have.
And actually,
that we
one of the programs that we forgot to talk about was Linking Leaders.
Oh, yeah.
So it is our solidarity partnership. So we are doing this work for the Black community, and we are also in solidarity of other communities that are also doing this work and ensuring that we're at the table, that we are representing the Black community at the table, that we're also learning and sharing with other communities of color as well.
Nice. Okay. Now, are there other leadership forums similar to what the work you do?
Yeah.
There are, and there's
Yeah.
actually other African American leadership forums in other states.
Oh, other states. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I'm familiar
But
with that. I thought
yes.
you was giving it to me. I was like, not here. Please don't.
Not
No,
here,
not
not
here.
here.
I
Okay.
think we're the only
Think and do tank.
think
Yeah.
and do tank for the
Mhm.
state. We
Yeah.
take that seriously.
Yes,
Yes.
very serious. And I know that I remember talking to Gary about and when he was looking at some other states back when he first started this whole thing because he was so I was thinking so big, which is good because we need to be not on an island by ourselves here in Minnesota because there's other states that are
That's
doing
right.
work
Absolutely.
that some of the things we're trying to do they've done good at and some of the
That's
things
right.
we're doing they could learn from. So
Absolutely.
and then we all win at the end of the day. So that's a bigger picture than just Minnesota, but really what your job and focus is right here in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So I just want us to talk about is there any way for any other community members or partners or engagement in the forum that people can get involved in beyond your 20 folks you already got? Do you need another 20 to get the work done? Or right now we good? How's that looking?
Well, right now we are looking for Black men to sign up for our focus group around preventative health. And so, if you're listening and you're a Black man, we want you to hear that the data is showing that it's really hard to get our Black men to the doctor, or people who present or identify as a Black man. It's very hard to get those folks into their primary care physician to get those regular checkups. And so right now, when we're focused on health, doing a very deep dive around Black health between now and June.
Okay.
And so want to put that out there. We also have two convenings that are coming up that are also related to our Black health and our holistic healing agenda. So keep your eye out for that. Health is really where we want to go deep this year, because we haven't peeled back all the layers. We've really been focused the last couple years on education. And so just want to put that out there, that right now we really want for folks to tap in around what is it that you need us to hear and to document around Black health and healing.
Okay, great. And they can do that by going on your website or calling, or how's the best way?
I would say, why don't you go on our website? A good email, I would say, is brand, BRAND, at ALF, AALFTC.org.
Okay. Okay.
And just share that you're interested in learning more about our health focus.
And someone will get back and get you in right away, because we want to swoop them up and get
Right
you going.
away.
Because it's
Right
so
away.
important. Our men, we got to make sure that we're looking out for them.
Absolutely.
And we got some exciting things we're going to be looking at trying to do. So we'll probably be doing some of these things with you as well.
Love that.
Yes.
Because we have the similar focus of really wanting to try to reach out to more men and their health. And we got some things that we're working on right now. So I'm excited about that, working with you on that. So I just want to say, is there anything in closing that you ladies would want to make sure we haven't said, or that you haven't said, that you'd like to say to our listening and viewing audience this afternoon?
I think for me, I just always want us to remember our excellence and the things that we have done as a community in Minnesota and beyond around innovating. So much of this country's best technology and tools and inventions come from us. Minnesota is a state where Black Minnesotans are some of the most entrepreneurial, educated, brilliant people here, and everything that we need, we have. And I've said it before. You've heard me say it on this call, and I just want us to be steeped in how able we are, without any corporate dollars, without any philanthropy dollars. We are still able to get where we're going if we can work together.
Mhm.
And we're doing that. We're showing other cities and communities across the country how to do that, because we do that well. And I just want to also remind us that in Minnesota, there are some of the most amazing historical, foundational organizations like the Spokesman-Recorder, who ground us in our excellence. And I thank you, Tracy, for what you do for community.
Thank you.
And I feel very fortunate to be in this seat.
Thank you. Am blessed to have the two of you here and just having this conversation, because I think it's so important, the work you do. So thank you so much for being in that seat and joining me this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you.
How about you? How do you want to leave our conversation this afternoon?
Absolutely. I double click on everything that Dara just shared, and just want to remind the community that we are the technology.
Mm.
We are the
Ashe.
technology.
Mm-hmm.
Ashe.
And the brilliance, all the solutions that we need are within us. And it's really just about us working together. So if there are any blind spots that you see, and not if there are blind spots that the forum has, because we can only focus on so much, reach out to us and give us your input, share your thoughts, share your solutions, show up, because we need you in order to do this work.
Nice.
Yes.
Great way to end it. Great way to put it. I want to thank my guests this afternoon. I'm really showing out and giving me some good laughs, because although this is a very serious conversation, you have to take life a little lighter sometimes. And so I think we were just able to do that this afternoon, but with sincere seriousness of what the work they're doing. So make sure to check them out. make sure to lean in however you can. And if it's financially supporting the work they're doing, they can use that. Or if it's just being a part of some of their think tanks as you find out how to get involved, they can use that as well. So just keep remembering that these are always ways that we can work with our community organizations. And African American Leadership Forum has been around for 20 years. Let's make sure they're around for another 20 minimum.
Yes.
So let's do this together. And thank you so much for joining Tracy's Keeping It Real. And until next time, remember to check us out on our social media.